Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome to Greenhouse Diaries episode number 3. Wow, we've got a lot to tell you today. I can't believe it. There's been a lot of progress within this last week. I had a really busy weekend doing lots of sewing, lots of tidying up. So I'm really excited to show you what's going on in the greenhouse, what's going on in the garden. So without further ado, I'm going to flip the camera and take you on a little greenhouse and garden tour. Let's do this. Let's start here then. Well, here are my sweet peas, which as you can see, there is no action just yet, but nothing to be expected. I pre-soaked the seeds and I sowed them at the weekend. I've been a little bit zealous with the watering because I've certainly disturbed a lot of the soil, so I need to be a little bit more careful with that going forward. But nothing to show you really there other than they are sown. Oh, by the way, say hello to my greenhouse mascot. This is Goose. Hello, Goose. But this is what I'm really excited to show you. I was so close to giving up on these tomatoes. But look, we have got 1, 2 and 3 seeds now germinated. So what's that, nearly 4 weeks after sowing? I can't believe it, we've got some germination at last. I was so close to binning them this coming weekend and starting again. Over here, Alicante tomatoes. One has just started to poke through there. So of the 20, we have 4 germinated, which is super exciting. Let's put that back down and keep them nice and toasty. In here are some spring onions, which I sowed at the weekend. Again, no action there, but nothing to be expected just yet. These are looking fantastic. These are my peas. Now, if you remember from a previous video, I sowed 12 in the greenhouse, 12 outside in the planter. A little bit of an experiment to see how they did. We'll show you the garden planter peas in a moment or two. Here we've got even more greenery blooming through. We've got our curly kale, which is all looking fantastic. And here, a little bit of an experiment. Went to the supermarket, bought some ginger for a meal we were having. With the remaining ginger, I've just planted it on here. Hopefully it'll come through and hopefully we'll have some ginger plants ready to pop those on soon and keep them somewhere. I'm not sure how to look after ginger actually, so I will need to do some research, but again, that's quite exciting. Down here, if you've seen from previous videos, I managed to salvage some conkers that the kids collected from way back in October last year. They sprouted in a carrier bag next to the wheelie bin. I've taken 3 and potted them on. Now, conker trees grow huge, so this is just an experiment. Once these grow, I don't know, as tall as the greenhouse, I'll need to figure out where to plant those. But for now, they're in the greenhouse, and yeah, it's just an experiment, a fun experiment. Let's whiz outside and see what's going on. Okay, let's start over here. So this planter here is where my first early spuds are. And as you can see, we've got something poking through there and something poking through there. So some life in this planter, which is great. Those are my first earlies. In this bucket here and this bucket here, those are my main crop potatoes. As expected, no sign of life just yet, but looking after those as much as I need to. This planter will be for my second batch of first earlies, so I still need to clear this out yet of the nettles, weeds and the raspberry canes that never really do very much at all. Over here, let's whiz around here. In this planter here, this is where I've got my tender stem broccoli, carrots and parsnips. Half of the planter filled using this perspex and timber here just to keep the seeds protected and warm and moist. And this half here is where my succession planting of the same seeds will take place. Still need to work on this planter. We'll get back to that at some point in the future, but for now, look at this. This is super exciting. All these radish seeds you can see in here. It's focusing on the mesh and not on the seeds, unfortunately, but loads of radish seeds. And down the middle, you won't be able to see from this camera angle, but down the middle, they are the peas. In fact, look, I'm going to go under here. There we are, look. all the radish seeds, and there we can see a pea poking through there, a pea poking through there, a pea poking through there. So these peas are definitely coming through in the planter, but as you can tell now, certainly not as lively as the ones in the greenhouse. This was a huge weekend project. If you remember, this planter collapsed at the bottom. Anyway, I've managed to get underneath and fix it all up with some nice new timber. So that's all nice and strong and robust. Ready for my strawberries. I need to spend a bit of time turning this soil over, probably adding in a little bit more compost just to get it ready for the strawbs, which, you know, I might do that this weekend. Over here, very little to report on the living step where my herbs are. Probably no change since last time I showed you, but still I think it's looking quite cute. Now in here, well, here as you can see, other than grass clippings, we've got some of my lupins germinating, but just here and just here we've got two big indentations. That's paw number 1, paw number 2. My dog decided to jump on there to try and retrieve his ball, so that's for me to fix at some point soon. I'm just going to whiz over here and show you. I've spent a bit of time this weekend as well, filling here, all along here, all along here, and all along there, because these two fence panels here are where my sweet peas are going to go. So that's going to be beautiful once those fence panels are full of greenery and colourful blooms. Now over here, this is an apple tree which, as you can see, is blooming and looking lovely. So we should be expecting some good fruits on that this year. Last year we had lots of apples, but the majority of them were very tiny and inedible. So this year, as the apples come through, any small ones I'm going to cut off, just so the energy can fuel those bigger apples, and hopefully we will have more apples that are edible. Here's another, just, I don't think this gives fruit, this is just an ornamental tree, but just look at those blooms, they are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And this one, we still have a debate in our house. Is this a plum tree? Is it a pear tree? Nobody knows. It looks like it might fruit this year, so if it does, then we will find out whether it is a plum tree or indeed a pear tree. I think it's pear. Everybody else seems to think it's plum. Anyway, let's go back in the greenhouse. And there we go, lovely. So, a very swift greenhouse and garden tour. I am super happy with how everything is coming on. I've never really done any of this before, so to see all the peas coming through and the kale coming through, it's absolutely fantastic. I can't believe it. We've got so many radishes out there. I mean, I did make a mistake with the radish. What I should have done is succession planted them. We're going to have an abundance of radish and then no radish. So once those radish are done, I'm going to take them out. Obviously we'll eat them, and then in one side I might sow some more radish, and in the other side perhaps that's where the spring onions will go. Perhaps we need to deal with that when the time is right, but for now I'm just really enjoying getting stuff into the planters, planting stuff in the greenhouse, seeing the growth week on week, or as for the tomatoes, day on day. We had 2 tomatoes, tomato seeds germinated yesterday. We've got 4 in total today, so that just shows you, doesn't it, overnight, what a difference it makes. I guess that's it from me in my Greenhouse Diaries episode number 3. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody who's watched the videos, everybody who's liked the videos, everybody who's left me a comment on the videos, and of course everybody who has subscribed. I really appreciate it. Of course, it goes without saying, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more of my videos, then please press that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I look forward to speaking to you again in the next video. Bye for now.